Good evening, everybody. It's Brad Hughes with Jeff Gargas in the Sunday weekly warm-up space, streaming exclusively in the Teach Better Facebook group and streaming later on all of the socials as well as an episode of the Teach Better Talk podcast. I'm excited to join Jeff tonight and talk all things Teach Better. We've got a Teach Better roundup plan, what's going on with the Teach Better team. If you are joining us live in the comments tonight, make sure you say, hello, Jeff, hello, Brad. In the comments, let us know where you're hitting us up from, what you're looking forward to in your week ahead, no matter what your important role in education might be. And we've got some Sunday sprinkles and some Sunday shenanigans to boot. We'll be right back. Hey, good evening, Teach Better family. Welcome back. It is Sunday evening, and I hope you're joining us live exclusively in the Sunday weekly warm-up space in our Teach Better Facebook group. I'm Brad Hughes, Teach Better team member, co-host, and joining me tonight is the incredible, the one, the only, Ohio's finest, Jeffrey Gargas. Good evening, Jeff. Yes, it's you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What an introduction. This is my first Sunday show.
Your first Sunday show.
I might have been on one back in the spring, but this is like the new and improved warm up, and this is the first time I've been on here, which is interesting. Normally it's the morning show, but this is the evening show, so I'm good, man. The Brownies came back and won last second. No team in NFL in this millennium has trailed for that long of a game and then won. So we're setting records, baby. So I'm in a good mood tonight. I'm drinking Tim Horton. Little ode to Canada there for you. I'm doing good, man. It's good to see faces popping into the comments as well.
Everybody is coming out to see you tonight, Jeff, for your Sunday weekly warm-up premiere.
No, none of them knew I was going to be here. Now they're leaving now.
7,000 members strong. Our Teach Better Facebook group continues to grow and connect educators from all over the world in a variety of important roles. And the talk tonight was Jeff Gargas. Is Jeff Gargas going to be there? Jeff, we got to see Jeff. What's going on with Jeff? And we've got Nikki, we've got Candace, we've got Julie, we've got Janelle, and we've got a couple of mystery guests. Remember, if you are joining us live on Facebook, you have to grant StreamYard permission to see and use your name. You can find a link somewhere in the little window where our live stream is happening. Grant StreamYard permission to share your name. Let us know where you're joining us from. We have lots of people joining us tonight. Jeff, for those who are maybe joining us for the first time or just want to get to know you even that much better, let us know who you are, what important roles you play, a little bit about your family, something about your favorite NFL teams maybe. What's going on with Jeff Gargas?
Important roles is going to be a tough one. I'll come back to that.
Okay.
So I'm Jeff. Actually, somehow co-founded the company with the Teach Better team with Chad Ostrowski years and years and years ago. I operate as our COO, which is Chief Operating Officer. So I do a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff and I try to make sure we're all, running on schedule and such. Family, I'm married. My beautiful wife, Amy. I got 2 kids. And we have a dog, Buster. And now we have... But I don't even know if I think I posted it with the team. We got 2 turtles now too. And one of them's like a legit turtle. So yeah. And the Browns won today. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, diehard. Pretty cool to see them. I was not having a good day for most of the game. But they end up coming back and win. So it was good, man. It was a good game.
Talk with me about the game. How much did they trail by, Jeff? And what was the turnaround point for the Browns?
They were hanging down by 14 for most of it, but it was a high scoring game. Ended up being, what was it, 30 or 41-38 or no, I can't remember what it ended up being. It doesn't matter at this point. Because we were we were trailing for most of the game and come back and we'd have a good drive and then we just blow it or whatever. So it was a lot of typical Brown stuff. Deshaun Watson was terrible in the first half and then actually played really, really well in the second half. And we got it down to a field goal. Well, actually, so we scored a great score to what would tie the game, and our kicker misses the extra point. dude hits from 55 yards and he can't hit an extra point.
Okay.
And then we were able to stop them, come down and and then he made up for it because he hit a field goal to win it by 2. So it's crazy, man.
Jeff, you and your family recently saw your first Brown games together as a family. What was that experience like for your kids?
That was cool. They had a good time. It was a lot. It's big. We've been to like Cleveland Monsters game, which is at the Rocket Fieldhouse, like where the Cavs play, and so that's like not even a third of the attendance level of the people. So it was cool. It was a lot of fun. Going with we walked through the city to get there. And it was a beautiful day. They won very easily. And so it was a good game. It was a good first game to be at. I was kind of hoping that would really spark the kids wanting to watch games more, but I don't think either one of them knew the game was even on today. So
now, Jeff, you and your family are in Stowe, Ohio. What's the nearest major city that you're near?
Depending on if you call Akron major, so Akron, Ohio, which is where LeBron James is from. So that would be the next up city, and then Cleveland's just about 35 minutes away. So
for you,
about an hour and a half.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say we're about an hour and a half north of Columbus too, as well.
So for you and family, why is it proximity that you're Browns fans and say not Bengals fans? Browns versus Bengals?
Always been Browns fan because of the proximity. Which I like barely missed it because we're like just a little bit closer to Cleveland than where I grew up than we were to Pittsburgh. So I'm actually a Pittsburgh Penguins fan because there was no Ohio hockey team. And so I've been a Penguins fan forever, but like everything else, I'm Cleveland. So it's an interesting mix because Chad, if you know Chad Strowski, he's a Pittsburgh fan. So we butt heads because he's a Steelers fan, I'm a Browns fan, but we're both Pittsburgh Penguins fans, so it works out. And then I have an uncle who's a Pittsburgh fan, diehard Pittsburgh fan. I have an uncle who's a diehard Cincinnati fan. So and then another uncle that I have a lot of uncles, another one that's a diehard Browns fan. So up until probably about 5-6 years ago, they had a bet going like between their teams at all times. So they was just money passing all over the place, but it's always been fun. But yeah, pretty much proximity.
Your family cheer for the Penguins. What about the Columbus Blue Jackets in the NHL?
No, because I'm a loyal kind of guy, and I've been with the Penguins since long before the Blue Jackets came. So if I can, I'll root for them, but not if they're playing the Penguins. That's just my team. So do you watch NFL at all? Do you watch football at all?
Yeah, I sure do. The closest NFL team to us, where I live in Southern Ontario, is the Buffalo Bills. So
is that who you root
for
the
Bills. I grew up a little bit west of where I live now, and we're closer to Detroit. So I grew up following the Detroit Lions, Detroit Tigers in the MLB, as well as Toronto Blue Jays, and then shifted a little bit east, closer to Toronto. A lifelong Toronto Maple Leafs fan, cheer for the Blue Jays. Toronto Raptors as well, and I'm also a big soccer fan. So Toronto FC is the MLS team here. So lots of stuff going on here in southwestern Ontario, and a great sports area. Buffalo to my east and Detroit to my west, and in the middle we got some southern Ontario action happening too.
Awesome.
What's going on?
I'm a Leafs fan as well. So definitely a Maple Leafs. I'm a Maple Leafs fan as well. So.
Well, you've got some Maple Leaf action in your cup. You've got some Timmy's Coffee tonight, and
I do.
Are there Tim Hortons in your neighborhood, like in the greater Cleveland area? Can you get
in the great?
Which of course is a Canadian institution,
Yeah, in the greater Cleveland area, there is not. I don't know what where the closest for us would be. Probably up in the Cleveland area, but there are some in Cleveland. They're starting to get more and more down here. They're making their way down. So. They did some partnering with Burger King a few years back, and that's helped them, I think, break into the Ohio or the U.S. market and stuff. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, for sure. I mean, here in Ontario and across Canada, there are you can throw a stone and hit a Tim Hortons no matter where you are, pretty much. And sometimes they're on two different corners of the same block. So Tim Hortons is a huge institution here in Canada. And they've even made a shift, Jeff, to financial services. You can now get a Tim Hortons credit card if you're so inclined. Yeah, right. It's like it might be a coffee scented card. I'm not sure what's going on.
Why not? Huh?
I'm wondering if folks are joining us live tonight, what's your favorite coffee and what's your favorite coffee joint where you're joining us from? Maybe it's Timmy's, maybe it's Starbucks, maybe it's Seattle's Best Coffee. I really love that ground coffee if I can get a hold of it. Do you have any favorites, Jeff?
I do my typical cup. It's a Cinnabon, cinnamon, like it's a cinnamon roll flavored coffee that I do most days.
Yeah.
But I think Tim Hortons takes the top from then on. Like if you're talking just straight up like brewed coffee from somewhere, I definitely would go Tim Hortons if I had them closer by. So
now, Jeff, among other things, you and I have a love of bourbon in common.
Yes.
Both of us enjoy, finding a good bottle of bourbon and maybe sharing it, maybe beside a campfire with some friends. I think you and I have to have a meetup to compare maybe 2 or 3 different tastings or something. But I want to recommend to you something called Cooper's Coffee. Cooper's comes out of the New England area. I'm not exactly sure which state it's in, but Cooper's ages its beans in a variety of barrels, including bourbon barrels. And so when the coffee is aged in the bourbon barrels and then roasted, there's this incredible whiskey bourbon flavor. And they've even expanded, Jeff. They not only have the bourbon and the whiskey and the rye and the rum, but they even age some of these beans in red wine and white wine barrels as well. So you get a hint of the Pinot or a hint of the Cabernet. What do you think about that?
That sounds great. The team got me coffee that was aged in a bourbon barrel, but I can't remember if it was Cooper's or not. I think for my birthday, the team sent me that, but I can't remember if it was Cooper's or not. Yeah, but that's good stuff. That's the wine. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. That sounds delicious.
Yeah, we've enjoyed the red wine. It's got kind of like an earthy, kind of fruity note, and we've had the Pinot as well, which is just kind of got that light kick of the white grape in it. It's really, really good. Not easy to come by here in Southern Ontario. We have to, mail away for it or whatever it is. But, I think by the time taxes and duties comes across the border, I think we're paying the same as the beans for the taxes and duties. But boy, is it ever worth it. What a special treat. It's a kind of a holiday tradition around here.
That's cool.
We are live in the Teach Better Sunday Weekly Aroma space, and we're talking with Jeff Gargas. Jeff, I'm wondering about what is on your mind as you think ahead to your week. Part of this Sunday Weekly Warm-Up idea is to kind of get into the right mindset and get connected for the week ahead. What kind of opportunities await in the next few days?
Oh, geez. And this week, I'm actually, I think I'm excited. I got to finish a few things that are related to a couple pretty cool events that we have going on connected to our educator community. So that's exciting. So getting to kind of finalize the pieces of that stuff. Missing Katie, because this will be our first week now getting going with Katie out on maternity leave. So we won't have her, right. which means I have to do more work, I think, which means everyone better be on their toes and watching out for mistakes because Katie's gone. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think there's a lot going on. I always enjoy. I love our having mastermind on Tuesday mornings. Is always a good time. I get to spend time Thursday during the day, and then also that evening with our edupreneurs and our MBA group. So, prepping some things for those crews and stuff. And just kind of we got some team travel coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So making sure that all that stuff is ironed out for the last sort of PD and support visits for the next, right before Thanksgiving and then in between the 2 holiday breaks and stuff. So we'll probably be looking at a lot of calendars and travel stuff and things of that nature. So lots of exciting stuff, looking at calendars and stuff.
Oh, calendar gazing is among the most incredible things we do as Teach Better team members. And I'm wondering what's coming up for our viewers and listeners this coming week. If you've got something exciting coming up, drop us a line in the comments. Let us know what you're looking forward to, whether it's first thing tomorrow or you're looking forward to celebrating and reconnecting with colleagues, family, friends, whatever is coming up for you this week. Jeff, we've got an exciting quarter as you're talking about in our Teach Better community. As you mentioned, our good friend and colleague Katie Miglin is beginning parental leave, and she and the family have a new baby on the way. They're soon to be a party of 5.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting. I'm just waiting for the pictures, just waiting for the celebration.
I'm really grateful that you're joining me tonight as the co-host in the Sunday Weekly Aroma Space. Jeff, I'm wondering, has there been a Ray Hewitt sighting this weekend? Any word about where Ray Hewitt's at? What
You
she might be up
know,
to?
I saw her on some Instagram posts and stuff. She went somewhere. I believe she's on her way home. I don't know. Actually, oddly enough, I did text with Ray today, and she is on her way home. And I quote, "I'm so excited to get back to work," is what she told me. So,
What?
I know Ray does that. When she gets on like these vacations, or even whether this was like a short thing, kind of a getaway for a friend's birthday, and every time she's just like, "I'm so excited to get back." I'm like, "You only missed like a day of work. It's not like you took for a while," but she gets excited. So, she and I will be in meetings together quite a bit tomorrow. So we'll see how excited she is after that.
Really, I mean, that looks like she was some kind of a warm weather destination. Saw some pictures by the pool, and
she was in Punta Cana, actually.
Oh, CC.
Yeah, very, very looked gorgeous. So,
is warm weather travel and those kind of destinations important to the Gargas family?
No. No. Our favorite destination is Ontario, Canada. Point of Barrel.
Right. Yeah.
That's our favorite.
You folks have a cottage in Point of Barrie.
Yeah. Is that, do you say Point of Barrie?
It might be Point of Barrel.
I think it's Point of Barrel because there's a barrel, and they used to say barrel, but they do it the French spelling of barrel.
Oh, oui.
But yeah, exactly. We do. We love Ontario. We go right up through there, which is I think why I love Tim Hortons and everything Canadian.
That's a beautiful spot in the Muskokas, and talk for a couple of minutes about you literally have a family island. Can you talk a little bit about that? It's an incredible destination.
Yeah, so it's a little to be clear, when we say island, it's just a big rock that my wife's grandfather and his cousins purchased back in the 60s. And then Grandpa built by hand the cottage, and it still stands today, obviously with some improvements and stuff like that, but it's pretty cool. We're 100% solar power up there. It's solar power and propane. It's kind of like high class camping because we're in a cottage and stuff, but like it's not like there's no insulation, and not all the walls are finished, but it's just awesome. We do a lot of fishing, a lot of hanging out, a lot of disconnecting because we have to. It's about a 15-minute boat ride out to our island, so love it. It's our happy place. So excited we didn't go there this summer because we did a beach trip with my family, but we'll go up there this coming summer, and then I get to go up. I was up in September to close, so I always get to go up at least once, if not twice. We don't talk about that with Amy though, but it's awesome. I love it. If you ever get like in person with me and I have my phone and you start talking about this, you just need to take a seat because I'm going to show you 5 million pictures and videos and everything else. But we love it. The kids love it. It's a good time. So it's not it. The only problem is like I go just close enough by you where I feel guilty for not stopping to see you, but it's like not super close enough. It is like we need to figure that out. That's where we do a bourbon tasting. Is we just need to veer a little bit west.
That's right,
and come see you.
Yeah, and we just have to head east up around Georgian Bay. I think we can meet somewhere around Collingwood, and Collingwood has some amazing distilleries as well, Jeff. There's incredible Collingwood whiskey right in there. That's
Collingwood,
just a delicious Canadian whiskey. But I digress. That'll be a great stop for us.
Ray Hewitt spotting. There's been a sighting.
Just landed. Oh, fantastic. Boy,
Ray,
are Ray's arms tired.
Ray, did you go back to Chicago, or are you like in France or something now?
Ray is asking if we're talking.
Actually we are. Yeah. We've been talking quite a bit about drinking coffee and wine, and
we're talking destinations. Ray's still on the plane.
Still on the plane in Chicago. She's in Chicago.
Jeff, I'd love to shift conversation to our Sunday strategies, and actually your story about the boat ride to the island gives me a little idea about kicking things off here. Be right back. Welcome back, everyone. You're with Brad Hughes and Jeff Gargas, and we are streaming live exclusively in the Teach Better Facebook group. It's private, members only. However, it's free to join. 7,000 educators strong, Jeff, and we're in the Sunday Weekly Warm-Up space, and we're talking teaching, we're talking education, we're talking rejuvenation, we're talking tipples, a little bit of everything, and we're shifting into our Sunday strategies conversation, Jeff, and I was just reflecting on how you were saying that it's a boat ride to get out to your family rock, your family island, and there's some intentional disconnection. And I'm thinking about the role of intentional disconnection from our busy lives, and maybe even from the busy internal chatter that keeps us going and maybe keeps us up at night. And I'm wondering what you're thinking in addition to your special island. What kind of strategies do you use in your busy week to intentionally disconnect, even for a few moments at a time?
Oh man, I feel like I'm a terrible person to ask this because I've struggled with it for so long. But maybe that's why. Maybe that makes it a good thing because I've been better at it. So, two important things that I do sort of to end my day every day because I've struggled for a long time. I've talked about this a bunch of times on air and stuff about struggling to like enjoy my weekends because I always want to be working, enjoy and struggling to shut down at the end of the day. But two things that I've been doing that I feel like really help is that when I feel like when I get to the end of my day, when it's time to stop, I do two things. So one, I go into our Basecamp, which is the tool that we use as a team to it's got our to-do list in it and all that stuff like that.
Yep.
And I adjust any tasks that were on my today list that I'm not going to get to. I move them to tomorrow or whatever. And then I have a not quite as crazy and beautiful as Ray's, but I have a paper to-do list because I like to be able to I like that crossing off part.
Oh yeah.
And it helps me organize like very specific things. I reset that. So I actually, if I do it on my iPad, I obviously erase and redo it. Or if it's on paper, which right now I'm in a paper mode, I pull it off, new page, and I reset myself. So I set up my next day. I take a look at my calendar, take a look at everything. And that's sort of my last thing because I feel good. I'm like, okay, I know I'm done today and I know what I'm going to tomorrow. And that really, really helps me to then not, I won't even say not worry about it or get distracted, but be much better at not worrying about it or getting distracted. And really, really on Fridays, I think that's super important as well, because then you have the weekend. And if you don't have yourself, I believe like if I don't have myself set up for Monday on Friday, I spend the whole weekend just thinking about it. And then at some point I'm going to pick up my laptop and I'm going to have to open it up and I'm going to go in to just to arrange it. And then I'm going to end up working and then, what's the point? So that to me has been a big help. It's just you got to find that little thing that those little things that is your signal for your symbol for shutting it down for the day. And sometimes that might just literally be the closing of your laptop and hopefully that's enough and that's cool. But for me, I got to go through those two things first and then I shut it down. So
Jeff, on our internal Teach Better calendar, when I'm taking a look at the different appointments and the different things that we team members schedule, I notice that you're really intentional, especially as you approach the end of the day, about locking time in where you're out of office and you're focused on family. It's Jeff out, kids. Tell me about the end of the day for you and family, and is connecting or reconnecting with your kids for some necessary things. Is that part of your disconnection as well?
Yeah, it is, and there's a little bit of, I'll say that's kind of forced in the sense that someone's got to get my kids home from school and stuff. But I'm also really fortunate that I'm able to do that because I have the flexibility to do that. But that really does. It helps me set because when they get home, they got stuff. They need stuff. Like we either got to, maybe we're going somewhere for lessons or gymnastics or scouts or whatever. They're hungry. They want some food. So we get going like that. They have homework they want to work on, whatever it might be. Like I've got to disconnect at that point. And that really kind of gets me into family mode at that point. So I really love it. I go, my son comes home on a bus, but my daughter, I walk and I pick her, I walk and meet her after school and we call it walk home. So that's sort of that's the last, if there's anything left in my head, hopefully it's out by the time I get to the school and get her and stuff. But yeah. And I have that on there so that everyone knows that look, like this time I'm with my kids. Like that's when I'm when we start doing things. So one other thing that we have done, Brad, as a family, is on Fridays we've done. It's not every Friday, but certain Fridays throughout the month we do no phone Friday. which
Oh,
is after. So we do after 5 o'clock. So after mom gets home, all the phones go away, tablets go away. We're allowed to watch TV, we're allowed to do stuff like that, but only, but we're not able to have our phones or our tablets with us, and that also includes computers and Xbox and stuff like that too, which is fun because it ends up usually being, turns into a chess match or a board game of some sort, or just watch a movie together or whatever. Which again, for me, someone who struggles, helps me to unplug, even though technically I'm plugged if I'm watching TV, but like helps me to reconnect with the family versus worrying about work. So.
yeah, that's what I will say is you're exemplifying, unplugging uh from I guess work distractions or thoughts about work, but you're reinvesting in a reconnection with your loved ones, and that's where the real power is. I mean, we talk about
Agreed.
the power of relationships to both restore us and recoup our energy, but also to protect us. Looking forward to seeing your kids, or I'm wondering at the end of the day, if you're at school, do you have an opportunity to meet up and chat with other parents, or do you see any of your daughter's educators, or is it just sort of mostly get in, get out?
I will typically when picking up from school, like she's already like so we're on a road and then there's like a side street that goes like kind of dead ends into the school. It's not the school driveway, but it's on like the side. So like I'm usually meeting her there, so I'm kind of away from other folks and stuff. But I do walk her to school as well. That's when I get the chance to like say hi to the principal and talk to some of the teachers outside. As you say that, I'm like, no, I don't think any of us parents are very nice to each other. I don't talk to any. Well, there's a couple of them that I say hi to and stuff, but it's brief. Unless we end up, there's a couple that we might end up walking because a lot of kids that walk home, so we might end up walking there and there might be some conversation. But I like it sometimes when it's just when it's not a group and it's just me and Jax walking on together. But
Yeah, that's great time for you and for Jax to just invest in each other and just see where the conversation takes you, or even just companion each other, even if you're not talking. Just kind of have a relaxing walk home and just kind of be in each other's space and just be companions for one another.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
If you're joining us live tonight, welcome and glad you're here. And why don't you let us know in the comments? Well, let us know, do you schedule time for yourself and family? What helps you honor that time if you schedule it? What are the favorite activities that you do? What keeps you restored and connected with the loved ones and the people and the things and the activities that you love the most? Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what your Sunday strategies might be. And Jeff, when we talk about connecting and staying connected, another thing that I see you do frequently in our behind the scenes Teach Better space is to give shout outs as well as team challenges, community challenges. Some of your favorite challenges include, share the most recent picture on your phone, or hit me up with your pets, or, Halloween, what do your costumes look like? In a workplace, but also in a community. Why are those kind of reach outs important, and what do they do for a team, any team?
I think they help us connect with each other and remember and sort of remind us all that, like, hey, we're all people. We just happen to do work together. And we all enjoy each other as people, not just as coworkers or colleagues. And I think we get to know each other for quite a bit, and seeing pictures of each other's kids or family or pets or whatever. Like, I think it's just that connection of like being authentic and actually getting to know each other. And to me, it's like we spend a lot of each other. Obviously, we as a team, it's virtually together, but we spend a lot of time together, and you spend a lot of time with people that you work with. So, like, liking them more is a good thing, in my opinion. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, to me, it just seems, well, yeah, like you should try to learn more about the people so you can connect with them better, because you're going to work better together. You're going to enjoy the company better. You're going to be able to jump on a Sunday night stream and just have a good time with them because you just like, you know what I mean? So
I sure do.
At least that's my hope,
When you put those challenges or invitations out, has what you got back ever surprised you? Can you think of something that you learned or discovered, or something that something that just kind of left you surprised or gobsmacked?
I don't, nothing that's coming to my mind. There's been points where it's been a while since, I think, but like as people were newer to the team, or I just hadn't done them as much, where I realized that people had kids and maybe I didn't realize that they did before, or that maybe I'd never seen a picture of their significant other, or something in the picture shared, like like alluded to or flat out showed us like something that they were really interested in that I didn't realize like, they were or whatever. But I don't think I can think of anything that really like shocked me necessarily. I'm sure there was, but not that I can think off the top of my head.
That's amazing. Hey, if you're joining us live tonight, let us know how you stay connected with your loved ones and I guess your people. I remember Ray Hewart saying when she was a middle school educator, middle school math educator, right in the thick of things, she and her team would have team meetings. They'd have scrums. They'd have morning scrums, and they'd get together and they would, come together. They would probably strategize and take a look at the day ahead. And some communities have activity boards, whiteboards, so they can keep track of the calendars and keep things coming up. And I'd love to know what's coming up for you if you're joining us live tonight, or maybe you're joining us later on the Facebook or on any of our socials. Let us know what's coming up for you in terms of keeping each other accountable, keeping each other motivated, and keeping each other connected. And Jeff, just a minute ago, you said about the importance of wrapping up your Friday, getting ready for Monday. And this is what many educators are doing throughout the weekend. Maybe they're dipping in to the week ahead, or maybe there's a jam up as you're kind of approaching Sunday evening. And I'm wondering if you have one or two takeaways for folks to, plan ahead for success in their week by backing it up a few days and just maybe build on your Friday strategy, or something you discover that works for you, or something that hasn't worked and you had to make a change.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just that. I mean, thinking through, I think looking at your calendar or whatever it is that you look at your week and the to-do list for the next week to try and see if you can think of like what's going to cause me an issue. For me specifically, if I'm looking at next week and my Monday, Tuesday are more packed with meetings than they normally would be, that's a cue for me to look at my to-do list for Monday and Tuesday and go, okay, well, maybe I'm not going to set myself up for failure. So let me adjust that, which is another thing that should allow me to go, okay, I'm more prepared for next week. I'm good. I'm ready to go. But I actually think I'm going to go the other way. Is like, I think as long as you are intentionally working on that disconnection and that closing down and that being intentionally there with whoever it is that you spend time with over the weekends, that it makes it so that when that occasional time comes up where something happens and you're like, this sucks, but I have to look at stuff on Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Sometimes that's going to happen, right? And when you care about what you do, it's going to happen. If you don't care, it's really easy not to do that, right? But if you care, it's sometimes going to happen. But if you're intentionally doing it all the time, then hopefully that's not all the time, because then obviously something's wrong and something's disconnected. We'll talk about that a whole other time. But if you're doing the best you can all the time and consistently disconnecting like that, then when those one or two times here or there that happens, you should be able to, one, be able to do it less stressed, and two, just know that it's okay. Like, that happens. So not sure if that actually answered the question or not, but
it sure did. And Jeff, I've been doing some reading and some reflecting and actually some intentional work on I guess a purpose-driven or a values-driven way of thinking and way of being. And when you said, sometimes we do dip into work on Sundays, but if we like what we do, or if that is aligned with our values, then it's not only an okay thing, it actually is it's pivoting us in the direction we want to head. So I've got kind of a deep thought for you. I wondered, could you share with me and with our team one or two key values that you think really drive what you do, both as a family member, as a Teach Better community member, as a neighbor, as a sibling? Like, one or two things that really make Jeff Gargas, like, what makes you you?
I think you're getting tough today. You're a tough interviewer. I think for me, it's helping people. So, that drives me in like everything I do, whether it's my family, whether it's work, whether it's my siblings, anything like that. So that's something that definitely drives me constantly. And then I think I'm trying to think of how to phrase or which one I want to pick with here. I think just being authentic and being a part of something important, which is why, like, when work does creep in and I pull out my laptop during the weekend or whatever, as long as I know that I don't feel like I have to, but it's a want, and I have the time because maybe we're just all chilling, doing our own thing in the house, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pull out my laptop and I can do that knowing that I'm not doing that because I have to, or because I feel pressure to, or because, and I'm not like taking time for my family. It just happened to be relaxing. It's because I know I'm part of something bigger than me and something important, something that's doing good work and something that's helping people. And I think you already said this, like, and I love what I do. So like, it's okay with me. And I think those are two big things that really drive me, is the fact that I want to help people in general. And I need to be a part of something that I'm passionate about, because I believe in it.
Jeff, that was awesome. And I can say in terms of authenticity, I think you nailed it. I think you nailed not only who you are, but how you are, both publicly and privately. You're a difference maker, man.
I appreciate that, buddy.
If you are joining us live tonight in the comments, let us know what drives you. What key values do you hold in high esteem, and how do you live them? Are there values that you're working on that are challenging you? What makes you you? Just drop us in the comments, and maybe we'll Jeff, how do you feel about cupcakes?
Cupcakes?
Yeah, cupcakes.
I like cupcakes.
I've got a cupcake for you. I've got a cupcake for you, Jeff.
Okay.
Here it comes. Right back. There you go. It's the icing on the cake. Jeffrey Gargas in the Sunday weekly warm-up space with yours truly, Brad Hughes. Ray Hewart is off tonight. She's in Chicago, just having flown in, and wishing Ray a speedy and safe trip back home. Jeff, what's on your mind?
I don't have a cupcake. Like you said you had a cupcake, and there's no cupcake here. Like,
yeah,
I'm hungry now, and I don't have a
sparkler on it.
That's a dangerous cupcake.
It was, and just the commercial cuts before it explodes. And so, did you get the 6? No, I sent 6 cupcakes to be delivered at 8:35. Did they come to your door there in Stowe, Ohio?
Well, if they did, someone else answered the door, and I'm not going to see them. So,
that's crummy.
I guess we'll see.
Hey, we are in our Sunday Spark section, and this is our opportunity to highlight something in the news, some good news, some inspiring news, something to keep our optimism flowing, and maybe something to spark conversation with your colleagues or with your students, whatever your important role in education might be. Jeff, I couldn't decide which of these 2 stories, and I ran them by you before we went on the air. And we've got 2 very different headlines. Why don't we highlight one of a student making a big difference? This is a 12-year-old who has developed a fire detection system, winning her a $25,000 award and top junior scientist award. This is from goodnewsnetwork.org. A 12-year-old girl from Miller Middle School in San Jose, California, won $25,000 for her invention of a new fire detection system that's faster, cheaper, and more reliable than standard smoke detectors. And this is opportunity out of adversity here, Jeff. It says that the summer of 2022, a fire destroyed a restaurant behind the student's house. That incident inspired her to create a fire detection system that involved connecting an affordable thermal camera to a compact computer. And this system can send a text message when it detects a heat source, but there are no humans in the area for a continuous 10-minute period. And this student system, Shanya's system, accurately detected heat 98% of the time and heat sources 97% of the time. This is a difference maker, and I'm sure all of us in education can think of those difference makers in our classrooms, in our hallways right now.
That is awesome. Wow. That's cool.
Recently, I read about another young student who was a science fair participant and champion who developed a skin cream that combats skin cancer. And that's also on goodnewsnetwork.org. I mean, students doing amazing things. If you're joining us live tonight, let us know what's coming up for you in terms of, the incredible students that you serve and what discoveries they're making. And maybe this is an opportunity for you to spark conversation with your students in class tomorrow or later on this week, how students are making a difference. And then, keeping your eyes open to how students in our lives are making a difference too. Jeff, the other story I wanted to bring to you is
what?
Is from the
Why are we laughing already?
Yeah, it's the now from Now for something completely different to file. And the headline again from goodnews.org. Missing pig named Kevin Bacon reunited with owners after help from, you guessed it, Kevin Bacon. So, have you played 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon before, Jeff?
Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, you don't have to go anywhere for this one. Like, so there's people who named the pig Kevin Bacon.
Correct.
How crazy is it if you had a pig that you named Kevin Bacon, you lost that pig, and then someone like knocked on your door and was like, "Hey, I found your pig," and you open it and it's like, "Hey, you're Kevin Bacon," like, and that's Kevin Bacon. Like, is there details like how, like did the pig like find him?
This comes to us from the great state of Pennsylvania, Jeff.
Of course it does.
I
don't know why I said
pig
that.
named Kevin Bacon. So actor Kevin Bacon happened upon a lot of stories on the search engines after a runaway pig with the same name was in on the loose in Pennsylvania, and it says rather than wallowing in the loss of limelight, Kevin Bacon, the human, used his social media presence to alert Pennsylvanians to the missing hog and the attempts of his owner, Chelsea Rumbaugh, to capture him. Chelsea lives in Cumberland Township, Pennsylvania, and brought the pig home on October the 13th.
So she didn't get to meet Kevin Bacon, but
what's that?
But he didn't find a pig. He used his platform to help others be aware of it. It's awesome. Still, that's great.
He sure did. Funny. Yeah. So great news. Kevin Bacon is home. I'm not sure whether that's the actor or the pig, but both are home.
Hopefully both.
And yeah, I'm not sure. Kevin Bacon, the actor, has always been known to be a bit of a ham. So I mean, I think it's good that he could help Kevin Bacon, the pig, get back home. And I don't know. That's all I got.
Ham one day. I don't know. Like that's a great story.
And that's from goodnews.org. That's where I get many of our Sunday Spark stories and a great source of inspiring news and surprising news, too, from the sublime to the ridiculous. Jeff Gargas, for those that are wanting to stay in touch with you, what's the best way to continue to find out more about you and learn about all things Teach Better?
I mean, teachbetter.com is the way to go, or my email is just jeff@teachbetter.com, or my handle is sitting by my name at Jeff Gargas on all the social medias, except for Instagram, I'm at _Jeff Gargas. But, Jeff@TeachBetter, that works. That's an easy way to get me.
And for those that are looking to connect with the Edupreneur Mastermind group, what's the best way to find out more about that, Jeff?
If you go to teachbetter.com/educreator, EDU creator, that's going to give you information on our Educreator community, which includes our Educreator community, the Edupreneur Masterminds, and our Edupreneur MBA program, which is like a higher level mastermind. So all three of those are all connected in underneath the Educreator community as well. So.
And before we get off air, can you talk briefly about 12-Hour Live, and can you talk briefly about the Teach Better cruise coming up in June?
Briefly, yeah. So 12-Hour Live is coming up. I don't know that have we announced the date? I'm not going to say it just in case.
Okay.
But 12-Hour Live is coming in 2024, so keep your eyes and ears open for that. We've got a really cool lineup again, and great topics lined up again. And we'll have a whole bunch of giveaways like we always do. So that's super exciting. So that's coming very soon. So keep an eye out for that and the announcement for that coming. And the cruise is in June. That's going to be cool. And that's kind of like a double whammy because you get the cruise, but the day before there's like a conference there in Tampa.
Right.
And so there may or may not be a bunch of us going to Tampa and a few of us going on the cruise and stuff like that. So make sure you're checking that out. I can't remember the address for that right now. Go to teachbetter.com. It's right down the front page. You can see it. It's all over our social media and stuff. And then if we can, Brad, if we can just mention teachbetter.com/November. So literally like the month. So teachbetter.com/November. A bunch of stuff up there. Ambassador applications open right now.
Right on.
The first ever, it's actually like our beta testing like cohort for the Grid Method certification. So you can get officially Teach Better certified as in the Grid Method. That's open right now for applications as well. We've had a massive turnout for that, which is awesome. And then the Educator Club community is on there as well, blogging with us, and probably something else that I'm forgetting. But teachbetter.com/November for that. But yes, you got 12-hour live coming up soon. You've got the cruise coming up in June, at the end of June, and a lot of exciting stuff. So it's fun, Brad.
Jeff, it's fun, and it's been great connecting with you tonight. Great connecting with you, our Teach Better family in the Sunday Weekly Roma space. Jeff, thanks to you and our leadership team. Teach Better is in ship-shape condition. So we're grateful to you, and wish everyone a wonderful week and a great week ahead in the Gargas household too, Jeff.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you all.
Take care. Have a great night, everybody.